I'm Mark Alyn. This is Late Night Health. Join us at latenighthealth.com. You can join us there and click a button and listen to us on your iPhone or Android or tablet anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's more late night health than you could possibly consume in a week. Just hours and hours up there. We're going to go to L.A. and meet Melissa Ambrosini. She is the author of a new book called Mastering Your Mean Girl, the no BS guide to silencing your inner critic and becoming wildly wealthy, fabulously healthy, and bursting with love. Melissa, welcome to Late Night Health.
Thank you for having me.
You know, when I think of mean girls, I think the girls in high school. I said this at the top of the show when I was doing a little intro. I said, to me, mean girls were the really cute girls in high school. And you always wanted to go out with them. And then you finally, kind of screw up your courage and you ask them out and they go, yeah, right. We're going to go out with you? No way. Isn't that what a mean girl is?
No, what I'm actually referring to is your inner mean girl or your inner bad boy. So it's basically your ego, or you can call it your smaller self or your shadow self or your inner critic. You can call it whatever you want, but I call it your inner mean girl or your inner bad boy. And it's basically that egoic, fear-based voice inside your head that tells you you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not successful enough, you're not working hard enough, you're never going to get out of debt, you're never going to meet the guy, you're never going to meet the girl. We all know that voice that we've got inside our head. We all have one.
How do we get that voice to shut up?
Read my book. That's how.
Okay. That little voice, everybody has it, don't they?
Absolutely. Anyone who tells you they don't have an ego, I would run for the hills.
Well, as an actor yourself, as a dancer, as somebody who's been on stage and performing, I mean, at the Moulin Rouge in Paris, woo, 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 dee, 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 dee. I was trying to do the can, didn't come out there. But performing, you have to have an ego, at least somewhat, don't you?
Yeah, like I said, everyone has an ego, and it's just differing varies of loudness, I guess. Mine many years ago was on volume 10 with a very heavy bass. And after years and years of implementing what I have discovered and the tools and techniques that I have in my book, I've been able to turn down her volume, and she now sits on mute, and she's in the back seat of the car, no longer trying to sit on my lap and drive my car through life. She's still there. She's on the back seat.
But if she's a back seat, is she a backseat driver then?
Sometimes she'll pop up. Yeah, absolutely. She'll pipe up, but I'm able to quickly put her on mute a lot faster now because I have these tools and techniques.
I was thinking about this and becoming fabulously fulfilled. Are most people today in the States, in Australia, in the Western countries, are we fulfilled, do you think?
No, I think a lot of people are constantly searching outside of themselves for happiness, and that was something that I fell into. It was a constant search for the next job or the next paycheck or the next handbag or the next, 5 kilos that I could lose. It was constantly about external outside things when all I really needed to do was connect inward with myself.
How did you develop these techniques? I know that you were pretty sick. What happened?
Yes. So back in 2010, this was when I was a performer, dancing and acting. I was burning the candle at both ends. I had no idea how to nourish my body. I was, partying and not sleeping and not nourishing my body. And I ended up in hospital with no more candle left to burn. And it was from there that I had to really start to get my health and my life sorted out. And I had a friend who gave me a spiritual book when I was in hospital, and my life changed from that moment. I realized that I was looking for happiness in all the wrong areas, and I needed to go within to find that happiness. And from there, my whole entire life just changed.
What was that book, if I may ask? Do you remember?
It was Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life.
Oh, okay. Hay House, the Louise Hay's. Wow.
It was, yeah. It was a beautiful book for me at that time. It was exactly what I needed to really pull me out of my funk. It was the catalyst that I needed to really get me on my health and my spiritual journey.
So the question is spirituality and health. We've been talking a lot about that on the show lately. Earlier today, we talked with a guy that I was actually directing in a TV show, and he had a stroke. And he went off to the hospital, and I ran into him a few weeks ago, and he's fine. But he says that God saved him. Would you say that God or a higher source saved Melissa?
Yeah, absolutely. A combination of me showing up, but also, really surrendering to where I was at and just allowing, all of the lessons to come flooding to me and really showing up for myself for the first time in my entire life. That, I think, was the most important things, that I really said yes to me and looking after myself and getting my health and my life sorted.
In the book, you say that you hit rock bottom. Can you describe your rock bottom and how you managed to pull yourself out?
Yeah, my rock bottom was really challenging. When I ended up in hospital, I had not only a whole host of health issues, from adrenal fatigue to thyroid problems to vitamin and mineral deficiencies, candida, SIBO. I had eczema, acne, hives all over my body. I had the cold sore virus really bad, where I had cold sores all over my face, in my mouth, and down my throat. And on top of that, I was dealing with depression and an eating disorder. So that was definitely my rock bottom, and it was a very challenging and dark time and really hard. But I'm so glad that I experienced that, and I did it at a young age, because I was able to turn my entire life around and now live a life beyond my wildest dreams that I didn't even know was humanly possible to live, with such joy and happiness and love. And that doesn't mean that every single day for me is rainbows and butterflies. It absolutely is not. There's still things that happen in my life, but the way that I respond and react to them is very differently to the Melissa before rock bottom.
What is the difference? I mean, physically, on our website at latenighthealth.com, you'll be able to see how beautiful and acne-free Melissa is by going to latenighthealth.com. But what's different inside Melissa?
So much. I guess it's just a inner peace and an inner groundedness and an inner joy and love that I didn't know could exist before.
What is inner peace to Melissa?
For me, it's just being content within my own skin and really feeling joyful and love within my own skin. And I never felt that before. When you have an eating disorder and depression, that inner peace and love isn't there. So really finding that within myself has been so huge to my healing journey.
The inner peace that you found that people can learn about in Mean Girls, is that something that you think everybody can achieve?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone can achieve it. It's a matter of really wanting to be the best version of yourself and really wanting to live a life that you desire. And everyone, it's there for everyone. It's not reserved for someone better or someone prettier or someone skinnier or someone taller. It's reserved for you.
Are you still performing, or have you given that part of your life up?
Yeah, no, I let go of performing. It was no longer true for me. When I hit rock bottom, I realized that it was no longer my truth. It was something that I'd done for many, many years and something that I was very good at it, but it was no longer my truth.
You've been described as a self-help guru. Do you work with people to help change and modify their lives?
Yeah, absolutely. So I used to work one-on-one with women. I now don't work one-on-one. I do lots of group stuff. I have obviously my book, and I speak all around the world at different events and workshops. I've got my goddess groups, which I run every second Tuesday. And then I've got online products and programs that really help women, support them to be the best version of themselves. I've got online business programs as well to help women find that thing that they really love and that inspires them to, share their gifts with the world. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Do you prefer to work with women, or do you like working with men as well?
I love women. I think women are so fascinating, and I primarily work with women. They're the ones that come to all my events. So that's who I talk to. The mean girl that's within each woman and the bad boy that's within each of us guys. Is this a learned trait, or do you think it's something that's innate in each of us? Yeah, the fear is driven, hardwired into us from such a young age. We're told the word no thousands of times before we're even 2 or 3 years old. So fear is driven into us. So it is something that is learned along the way through our life experiences that happen to us, but it doesn't have to be our operating system. It doesn't have to be our reality. We can choose to live from a place of love instead. It comes down to our choice.
We talked about love earlier in the show today, love being the most powerful element that I can think of, or power, if you will, in the world. If you have love in your life and health, everything else is, that cherry on top with whipped cream and maybe a sprinkling of nuts. Would you agree?
Yeah, love really is all there is at the end of the day. It's the foundation of everything. And if you build your life on a sturdy foundation of love, you're going to experience a lot of happiness and joy.
We're going to share more love with Melissa Ambrosini, the author of Mastering Your Mean Girl, in just a couple of moments as Late Night Health continues. Don't go away. More coming up. Be sure to join us at latenighthealth.com.